It's a very dangerous game to disagree with you, sir. The website that we did not get, it seems very possible it was a personality. That individual didn't like it, and that...
Didn't like the product.
Am I talking to the brick wall here, or what? I don't care whether you got on that website or not. The point I'm making is, if you got on that website, you still wouldn't have sold any. Your stuff was viewed by the world, and the world said no thanks.
I think in hindsight, maybe we should have considered it wasn't a global application.
Well, exactly. That's the point I'm making. The application was not liked by the world market. I mean, what fascinates me here is you've got inventors, you've got people that are in technology businesses. You should have walked this thing.
I agree. We should have walked it. There was a fundamental miss. We didn't quite grasp the fact that the global and the stereotyping would be a negative.
Now, if I've understood correctly, you have an icon and a description that goes up on all the app stores. Who was responsible for drafting the words?
In its entirety, me.
Entirely you?
Yes.
You sure you want to say that?
Well, I'll clarify what I mean by that. I prepared a piece. The guy said, "You've hit the nail exactly on the head. Well done, round of applause."
So if I was to say to you that one of the biggest things is to get it straight away. So here's the girls, and it's going out globally, worldwide, to everybody. And their first line is, "Screeching chalk and animal snorts are all part of the Ampy app." Bang. Straight away, I've got it. I got it. Screeching chalk and animal snorts. That's what we're selling. OK, now listen, compared to yours, Slangatang is the entertainment app that gives you the opportunity to listen to hilarious local vocal. I'm bored.
Certainly, hearing that as you read it out, I feel like a mug. Our description is not nearly as strong as it could be, or as strong as the girls.
So do we all agree here that these words actually was one of the reasons why this task failed? Or not?
Well, you know, the PM has a job of overseeing everyone in the group. I read it back to the group, asked for their full approval, asked the PM to concur with me and to proofread it with me, and they were 100%.
So now we're sharing responsibility for this, then, are we? You better get down to the nitty-gritty here, boys. Do you think your team leader did a good job or not?
He did a good job leading the team, but maybe he made a bad decision with the app.
He made a bad decision with the app that you designed, that you thought up.
We all put ideas forward. We all put ideas forward.
So, who's responsible for the failure of this task? You?
I wouldn't say I am, obviously, but...
Alex?
No, I made a very valid contribution to this, and I've in no way got any...
Lord Sugar, I can answer that. There are participants and there are spectators. I'm a participant, and I positively get involved in things and put myself forward to do things. In that same respect, Alex, you do not do that. Maybe you're biding your time, but I don't believe this process is about biding your time.
Quite right.
It's about participating and giving everything that you've got and putting yourself out there.
Well, if we just
game.
think about this for a second, actually, we've got a worded ad there that wasn't right. Jim, that comes back to you, and we've got the pitch
it's unanimous.
that we didn't...
The worded ad, let me clarify. Let me clarify so you can make sure.
You had the final say on it.
No, the PM has the final say. OK, we could talk over each other, or you could give me an opportunity to say this. You clapped your hands, as did everybody else. You agreed as much as anybody else, and it was...
next to you.
That's fine, Alex.
Yeah.
It was unanimous. But you've got to put yourself out there. It's not about being a passenger.
I've not been a passenger at all, but a lot of this stems back to you on this task individually. You might have saved one pitch, but you saved a small pitch. You didn't get the big pitch, did you?
My contribution is more positive than negative. Your contribution is nada.
Well, look, here's a fact. Here's a fact. Leon, you have got to make a decision which two people you're bringing back in here, OK? What's your instinct? Who are you bringing back in?
Based on sort of the feedback I've been hearing today, I'd like to bring back Alex and Jim.
Alex and Jim.
Well, it's interesting that he chose myself and Alex. There's actually a few fall guys. Vincent fluffed his speech, and I had to save the day, and I don't fluff speeches. Glenn designed the app that turned out to be crap. Well, 2 tasks in, I've given 100% effort.
Jim has done a sterling job throughout, and listening...
Well, then I'm not the person you should be bringing in, if you agree that I've done a sterling job throughout, so you need to change your decision.
So, So on the basis of maybe Jim's dealing here, I mean, do you want me to change? Is that?
I'm asking you. You're the man. You're bringing in.
It's obvious.
Okay.
It's obvious.
Yeah, it's obvious. Okay. There's a potential here that it could be down to the concept. So, okay, on the basis of the failing of this task down to the app, I'm going to bring in Glenn.
You want to bring me back? I don't think you should. Because...
Listen, Glenn, I know...
It's done and agreed.
I know.
I don't think you should. What do you think, Jim? Do you think I should be back here?
The PM's made a decision. I highlighted who I thought who made flaws and made mistakes. He's chosen you, Glenn.
Well, I think it should be Tom who's in here,
okay,
because
listen,
I think he should
but
be...
the point is, he makes the final decision. I want to get home tonight. Speak.
This is my final decision.
Right. OK, the rest of you, you've lost. You shouldn't have lost this task. Go back to the house. The other three of you, go and wait outside, and I'll call you back in shortly. Rather bizarre. Leon is a bit indecisive.
He fought like a lion to be a project manager, and ever since then, actually, he's been rather sort of weak-kneed.
What I find really interesting about Alex is on a task he disappears. In the boardroom he comes to life.
Yeah.
He has something to say.
But he only comes to light when he's pressed. He's not a volunteer, is he?
Glenn is a techie. He came up with the concept, he accepts it was his concept.
He fought for it. He fought for it. That's what killed him.
Could you send the three of them in, please?
Lord Sugar will see you now.
Well, after some pontification, we have Glenn, obviously yourself, Leon, and Alex here, yeah? The person that wrote the description of the application has gone. Jim, although you all agreed with it. What's Glenn doing here, then?
Lord Sugar, Jim raised a great point about how it was a team effort. I've seen him perform, you know, every task I've given him, and he's pulled it off. He helped Vince rescue...
Lord Sugar wants to know why I'm here.
Yeah, sorry, I brought Glenn in with me. He's got the technical ability. So when we thought of the concept, you know, I'm not saying we didn't all back it, but I thought I could leave Glenn sort of with the runnings behind that.
Well, that's the technology. I gave an idea, and everyone gave an idea. It's just my one got picked. That was your decision. You guys should have sold it better. That was the key.
Glenn, you say in your resume here that you're good at reading between the lines, foreseeing problems.
Yes.
Would you read between the lines here in the sense of the big mistake on the global issue?
That was down to Leon.
Yeah,
He's the project manager.
Yeah, and perhaps...
If it's his decision whether my app gets used.
The project manager, do they have to make every decision, or can
Yes.
it be the fact that the team of majority rules?
But
and
ultimately,
so
you have the final say.
You should have the guts to stand up, and if you didn't believe in something...
like my
because now
idea,
you're saying the project is not good, the app was not good. You should have said, no, I know all you guys have said this, but I'm the project manager, and I think we should do this. After all, this is what you're supposedly experiencing.
So, Leon, there's no smoke without fire. Great cliche, but just tell me why I shouldn't fire you.
I've come to you with the experience that I've built something from nothing, no investment, no nothing. I've come to you to show you. We're in task 2, you know, this is a long process. Give these guys a couple of tasks, they'll be gone, you know.
I don't think so.
That's absolute rubbish. You've had your chance. I'll tell you what I'm guilty of, is not showing and demonstrating truly what I can do.
That is absolutely right.
Yeah, it is absolutely right.
That could be
across the board.
And that can be, you know, your downfall, young man. Because,
it could be. It
you
could
know,
be.
because people come here thinking if they could just hide in the bushes.
Oh, Lord Sugar, if you and I were to go into business, there'd be no bush to hide in, or we'll be on the front line.
I can promise you that. You wouldn't be sitting in a blooming van slicing bread with me, I can assure you.
I wasn't just slicing bread. But you have had a chance as PM to demonstrate, and you failed, and you've got your own business.
I've demonstrated. I put my neck on the line.
OK, you put your neck on the line, fine, but you
I've
failed
also
and you've got your own
demonstrated.
business.
We're looking at this as a 12-week process. I guarantee you're not going to make it to the final.
Who should be fired then?
Alex.
You've barely worked with me. You're going on hearsay.
And Alex, who do you think should be going here?
You put me as project manager next time, you fire him now because he's failed. I'm a valid candidate to be here. Leon is not.
Based on I took
based on you failed in a task that supposedly exploited your expertise. No, based on the fact you make bad decisions.
No.
OK, look, Leon, it seems to me that you have delegated to people and not asserted any authority. Alex, you're a good talker. You are certainly a good talker. But, you know, I'm not thinking of starting a business writing speeches. And Glenn, you're a bit of a technical man, looking at your CV here, and it's a very rare animal to find a technical person that actually is a good businessman also. And I'm not sure whether you're that man. However, I think, Leon, you've had 2 weeks in this boardroom already, and 2 weeks you've been in the last 3. But what has saved you, Leon, here, for the second time, is that you've got a business, and you've done it, and you've achieved something. Alex, you have got this reputation already in this first couple of weeks that you don't do anything. This is not a job, you see, this is going into partnership. And the thing that is worrying me is that if you get lost and think I'm going to sit back and do all the work and all that stuff, you can forget it. This ain't going to happen. Alex, you're fired.
Thank you.
Leon, I will be very, very angry if I come across you again. Because if I do, there won't be a third chance, OK?
Thank you very much.
Back to the house.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord Sugar. Best of luck. This is my best of luck.
It was up to him. He could have put himself forward a little bit more. He could have come to the forefront a little bit more. He didn't.
He had 2 weeks to shine, and he spent 2 weeks in the shadows.
I am disappointed. I think you have to say Leon should have gone. A weakness in character there inherently meant he couldn't even make his mind up who should go back into the boardroom. But you take a situation, you learn from it, and you move on in life, and that is exactly what I'm going to do.
Hello, what's up? Whoa, 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 whoa. Who is it?
Easy. 2 bullets, docked. Pretty brutal. Said, Alex, you're sitting on the fence, you've been here for 2 weeks, you ain't made a noise yet, mate.
I initially had Jim up in the firing line.
Yeah, this is brilliant.
I had to quickly switch tactics, so I brought Glenn in.
You suddenly changed your mind, I'm like, you big wig. You were a chicken. You bottled it, mate. I'm telling you that for free. It's amazing.
In the fight for Lord Sugar's £250,000 investment, 14 candidates remain. Next time, a top-class customer.
I've got a list that you've got to go out and buy for them.
10 items needed.
It's actually for a very, very important client.
How would that make a difference to me?
What are you having problems with, mate?
We're literally having problems with everything.
At rock-bottom prices.
If you can get it cheaper, may I suggest you try somewhere else?
And he wouldn't even take a penny off.
It's checkout time for someone.
If I can see something going wrong with the ship sinking, I bloody jump in myself. You're fired.
You can see the contestants take on that task next Wednesday night here on BBC One. Now over on BBC Two, Dara O'Brien spending some quality time with Alex in The Apprentice, You're Fired. After the news here on BBC One, best known as Stacey, Joanna Page joins Rob Brydon and the panel to tell a fib or two.